It to you. Have a pillow or a towel or something that you can fold up, and we're going to use that today. So go grab that if you haven't yet. And you could just set yourself up in a way that feels like you're really honoring and respecting your body. You might even touch it. I've been loving touching my throat lately. I get really my stress tends to go all in this area. So wherever you feel it, wherever you need a little bit of extra love, maybe it's the heart, maybe it's the belly. We'll do some work with the belly today, trying to be really sweet to our bellies and just work with anything that's all stuck in there. But some of you have been coming on Wednesday mornings. I've been doing this really fun goddess series, the Wild Wisdom Goddesses. And they're called the Dasa Mahavidyas, these tantric goddesses. And one is more terrifying than the next. They all have blood dripping from their mouths, and they carry around severed heads. Sometimes it's their own severed head, really wild imagery. And the whole point is, oh, there's Peter. Okay, hang on one sec. Hi, Peter. Glad you made it. Welcome. All right, everybody's muted. So the whole point of these Wild Wisdom Goddesses is to sort of shock you out of your everyday way of thinking, and to keep kind of throwing in your face the teachings of impermanence. This too shall pass. Anything, to teach you about what's real and what's not real, and what matters and what doesn't matter. And sometimes it takes something sort of shocking to do that. I don't know if you've noticed. Anybody feel like they've been really shocked into sort of a new appreciation for what's really important? And so one of my friends shared this, and I thought it was so profound and everything that I've been talking about lately. So it's by Jeff Foster. He says, you'll lose everything. You will lose everything. Your money, your power, your fame, your success, perhaps even your memories. Your looks will go. Loved ones will die. Your body will fall apart. Everything that seems permanent is impermanent and will be smashed. Experience will gradually, or not so gradually, strip away everything that it can strip away. Waking up means facing this reality with open eyes and no longer turning away. But right now, we stand on sacred and holy ground, for that which will be lost has not yet been lost. And realizing this is the key to unspeakable joy. Whoever or whatever is in your life right now has not yet been taken away from you. This may sound trivial, obvious even, like nothing, but really it's the key to everything, the why and how and wherefore of existence. Impermanence has already rendered everything and everyone around you so deeply holy and significant and worthy of your heartbreaking gratitude. Loss has already transfigured your life into an altar. Right? So I'll just leave that where it is. And if you want to join me for Om from your house, you're welcome to. You can bring your palms together, leave them on your knees. You can take just a clearing breath, just clearing, and just sort of a breath that anchors you into space and connects you to the environment, the trees and the birds and the sky and the wind and the flowers. And then you can join me for Om. And then we'll start right away with the towel or pillow or whatever it is that you got, and you're going to fold it up and make it as tiny of a little package as you possibly can. So I'm going to fold mine up kind of into quarters like this. I know, just speaking from my own experience, that when things are really hard, when things get taken away from me, when I'm really scared, that often there's like a clenching or something happens in my belly. It's not as lovely as I want it to be, or as soft or as kind. And so I thought this would be a good antidote to that if anybody else feels that too, or especially if you have like, I don't know, sometimes us women, we kind of go to war with our bellies, right? So let's be really nice to them. So take your package and you're gonna put it so that you can lay your belly right above the hip pointers, right below the navel and that extra soft part. Put that right on your pillow or your towel or whatever it is, and come into a Sphinx pose there. Ooh, and it's a little like, it shouldn't be terrible feeling, but it also shouldn't be like the easiest feeling in the world. You could just rock your pelvis a little bit from side to side so that you get a really, hopefully, a deep belly massage there. Apologies if you already ate a big breakfast. This won't be so fun, but otherwise, it should feel kind of like nice in a way. And just keep going like that. Keep it kind of rocking. You could even rock a little forward and back too. You could tuck your toes under, rock forward and back. I'm just trying to figure out where to be here. And then go ahead and take your right arm and start to crawl it a little bit more forward. And take your right knee, start to slide it up next to your hip. And you're going to thread your left arm under your right arm. And that's the invitation, just to fall back into a twist. Let the right arm peel open behind you. And so it's some sort of supine twist here. You got your pillow if you want to stick it between your legs or underneath your top knee or anything else at all. You could do a little bobbing of the head to and fro and then just sort of let it land wherever it wants to land today. Take a deep breath down into your belly. Take a deep breath into the tissues on either side of your spine, right? The ones that hold you up all day long. There's something about a twist, right? That it's such a great release. So you can twist maybe a little bit more, sort of reach yourself apart in all directions, and then just roll onto your back. So keep going kind of off the center of your mat onto your back, and take ankle to knee, right ankle over left thigh, or you can scoop up and grab behind your left thigh and rock a little bit. You could rock any which way for a couple of breaths, but then what if you just didn't do anything? What if you just stopped rocking and you just stayed there and just didn't do anything for a moment? Nice, isn't it? Take your right foot into half happy baby. Put your left foot on the floor with a bent knee. And same thing here. You could rock a little bit, but then just let go of the need to keep busy. Take a few deep breaths. We're gonna locate the pillow again if you've lost it, or the towel. So we're gonna head back over onto the belly so you can let go of that right leg. Stretch both legs out, just roll over your left side all the way onto your belly, and you gather your pillow or your blanket or your towel again, and make sure it's really snug. If you need to repack your situation, repack it, get your soft belly right over it. Come back to Sphinx, rock a little bit. And I don't know about you guys, but I know that all of a sudden now that part of the country's opening, I'm feeling that creeping thing about busyness coming back. Like, you're supposed to be busy and it's nice out and it's sunny out and you're supposed to do all the things again, right? So just noticing that, take care with yourself, and no, you don't have to believe that thought if it's telling you that. And then this time, let's keep here in Sphinx with the blanket under the belly, but just take a couple of cat-cows. So on your cow, you're pressing your belly deep into that blanket or pillow. And on your cat, you're curling the tailbone in. You don't have to lift up too much, but just releasing a bit, drawing the navel in and pulling it away from your pillow or blanket a couple times. And then you could take your left arm and start to crawl it away. Your left knee slides up to the outside of your hip, and your right arm threads under, and that just takes you sort of falling back into the twist, into a twist that fits you, into a twist with any props that you like. But you just let yourself settle. Let things land, let the pieces fall where they may today without any need to fix too much. How's your belly? Are you still being sweet with your belly? Oh, yeah, cat on the belly really helps. And then you could keep falling in that same direction until you land on your back and take the left ankle over the right thigh for that number 4 shape. Give it a draw in, catch your hands around the right leg. Any amount of snuggling just to get into it, but then that non-doing. Just do nothing. Take your left leg, half happy baby, right foot on the floor. You can do that a little too, rock maybe, shake things out a bit, but then do nothing for at least a whole breath in and out, right? Sometimes it's amazing, isn't it? How even just to do nothing for one whole breath can sometimes be a challenge. Not to fidget, not to fix. And then stretch everything out. You can reach your arms over your head, roll back onto your belly. And this time you could push your pillow, blanket, towel, whatever it is, off to the side. Come to hands and knees. Take a few moments to move your spine around on your hands and knees here. So I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. Is Sandra still here? I wonder. So I was inspired by Sandra the other day. She showed me a little sequence. So some of you might be familiar with this one, but I'm gonna add on to it and do it my way. So I'll show you first and then we'll do it. So we're gonna start hands and knees. I think I'll show you this way. We'll start thread the needle. The right arm's gonna go under. We'll play there a bit. We'll reach the left leg out. If you grab on, you grab on. If you don't, no problem. We'll keep the leg out and come up, hands interlaced. Palms are gonna press up, and we're gonna go sideways towards the straight leg first. And then up and over to the other side, hand down, arm overhead for this business. And then here's the part I want you to see. You're gonna pick up that leg slowly, going slow today, slow motion, slowly pulling it in, trying to find that ankle to knee again. Toes are gonna be tucked. And coming to a number 4 shape on hands and knees, any amount of moving all the pieces and parts around. I'll show you this way now. And then from there, we'll come up, down dog, ankle to knee, release it up and back, shake it out, send it under the arm, sit, fold, and then we're gonna end up in sort of a pinwheel leg position, and I'll talk you through that bit there, okay? So that's where we're headed. So you can start on hands and knees. And as you come to your hands and knees, you get ready to thread the right arm under the left for thread the needle. Can you get that right shoulder, scooch it? You could even use your hand, kind of crawl your hand along the ground to get that right shoulder underneath you a touch more. And then kick your left foot over towards your right hand. You could do any amount of sort of snuggling, shifting the weight of the body right to left, anything at all, moving things around, and then keeping that left leg out to the side. Come on up. If you need to rearrange things so they feel more aligned for your body, please do. Clasp hands, press them forward, reach them up over your head. Try to lift your whole spine, your side body up out of the bowl of the pelvis. Get long and elegant, magnificent, and then tip over towards the left leg. I'm trying to resist the big collapse that happens here. Just seeing if you can keep that sense of brightness and elegance through both sides of the torso. And then come on up and drop your right hand beside you. And then the side angle on the knee where the left arm can wing behind you. And it's really up to your body whether you want it to be real back bendy or side bendy. You can even sort of flutter through forward bend, side bend, back bend. And while you're there, go ahead and pick up your left leg. And really slowly, you're going to flex that left foot. Start to bend the knee. Pull it towards your navel. Turn the leg out. You feel that the thigh bone and the hip socket. Turn it out, turn it out, turn it out so much. And then you're going to start to create that ankle to knee shape. You can have both sets of toes tucked under here. So the left knee can come to the floor if it's able to. And you know, again, if your body doesn't do this, you make it look like you. That's the beauty of doing this in your living room, is that there's nobody to impress but your toddler or your cats. So shift around. You could shift forward and back. You could shift side to side, make circles, make figure eights, anything at all. You could play around on your wrists as well. You could do any amount of turning the hands this way, that way, in, out. What does your body do today? It's amazing body. Thank you. Thank you, body, for letting me feel so much. Thank you, body, for showing me what I need to work with. And then you'll keep that ankle to knee shape and come into down dog like that. So lifting your pelvis up, go ahead and press back. And the energy kind of moving away from the wrist. Can you lift up out of the wrist? Press the thighs back. And then take that left leg and kick it up to the sky behind you. One leg dog, maybe you need to shake it out a little bit. You're gonna bring it underneath your right arm. So shoot it under the right arm as far forward as you're able to. The right hand can pick up. And we're just gonna go right to sit. So just kind of sliding your feet apart to sit down. If you didn't get there, this is where we're gonna end up in wide legs. And then you can walk your way over one leg, play with that a bit, walk through the middle and over the other leg. Take a few moments there, just kind of feel where does your body need you to land. What feels achy or what feels tender, what feels stuck. And then as you come on up, you can lift your spine up. We're gonna shape the legs like a pinwheel. So bend your right knee in, and you're gonna take the left leg, turn a bit for you, and you're gonna turn it in so that that leg bends behind you, and check in that you've got two right angles. You might have to adjust it so that you really see that you got right angles with the legs. And then here's the work in this one. I like to put my hands on my pelvis for help. Can you get your left sitting bone down to the floor? And the answer might be no, right? But you could try to let that left sitting bone get really heavy. And notice what we tend to do when things are hard is we turn away, right? I don't want to go there. So can you lean a little more to the left instead of leaning to the right? And then there's more. So that might be enough for you. But if you wanted to make it more challenging, if you want to feel more sensation, that left leg can scoot back. Just keeping it in the same right angle, but just moving it back. And then you notice, did the left sitting bone come up? If it did, try to anchor it back down. Are you trying to get out of this? Is the mind doing that thing, right? All the old stories coming up. I don't like this. I don't want to do this. You could keep scooching it back any amount. But you got to stay upright and you got to keep your sitting bones down. And then we'll add a twist. So now your left sitting bone can come up. You're going to twist towards the right, walk your hands around, and you can start to walk your way forward here. Maybe this is where you stay with your hands on the ground, or maybe you put your elbows down. Maybe you come all the way down and your belly can really get sort of smushed over that right thigh. sort of like we had it with the pillow in there. You get a lovely little belly massage. Take one more deep breath all the way in and all the way out. And then you can walk yourself back in and take a downward dog facing the front, whatever the front means to you. So no, nothing fancy. Any way you get there, down dog, and just give it a little rinse out. Hey, this big cat is such a bad boy. Yesterday, he played the piano while I was teaching. He literally jumped on the piano and decided to play. I don't know if anybody was there for that. So let's do the same thing on the other side. So coming to all fours is where we'll begin. Then you can take your left arm this time, slip it under the right. Do any amount of crawling it away. Stay a few breaths here. You know, twists are incredibly powerful for relieving stress. You feel that, right? There's like, they create this tension. You can kick your right leg over towards your left hand. Tension sometimes not a bad thing. Stress not a bad thing. And go ahead and lift your torso up, because when you come out of it, there's a resolution. Interlace your hands, press the palms forward and up, and tilt your way over to the right side. Trying to lift up out of the right hip, any spot that feels compacted or stuck, to make it more shimmery and bright. And then come on up and over the other way, the left hand down and the right arm over your head. You could stay like that. You could add some fluttering back and forth. Might be a nice place to really check out your shoulder mobility and see if there's any crackly, creaky places. And then pick up that right leg. You're going to start to flex the foot, bend the knee, bring it in, and then start to turn the whole hip out. Turn that knee up towards the sky, and even more, and then hook it. Ankle to knee, hands and knees, both toes and all the toes tucked under. And you can shift forward and back. You can shift side to side. You can make circles. Check in with all those places, you know, your own personal places. Like, where do you hold your stuff? Is it the upper back and shoulders? Is it the jaw? Is it the belly? Is it all of the above? And then from there, take that shape into a downward dog. So back toes will stay curled as you lift your hips up. And then free the right leg. Send it flying behind you. Give it a shake out. Move it around if you need to. Before you thread it under the left arm, to sit down, wide legs. So shoot the right leg through and just slide your feet apart to sit. When I say just, I know that's not so easy. Like, oh, just do that. So however you get here, and you can walk to one side, and you can walk around to the other side. You can swim. You can imagine you've got a great cape on, whoosh, like you're some superhero with your cape. And you can swing your cape around a few times. And then we'll come up into that pinwheel position. Which leg do we have forward before? I feel like we're in the same place. Yeah, right? We should have the left leg forward. Yeah, it's left leg forward here and right leg back. And then you're gonna check in and make sure you got your right angle legs. Often we kind of pull them a little closer, so have some space underneath the knees, and then get that right sitting bone down. Man, it's weird, isn't it? Like a weird compression feeling right here, something that we're really not so used to as yoga people. We tend to, this side, the left leg, we're used to that feeling, but this one, like, oh, so lean into it a little bit. Can you get that right sitting bone, just like a plumb line, anchor straight down into the planet, let it root. And then if you got the room, you could scoot that right leg back any amount, but you just watch yourself, you work with the body and the mind. Do I resist? Do I want to lean away? Do I lift that sitting bone to get out of being uncomfortable? Can I anchor myself back again to the planet? Can I anchor myself with the breath? Let the breath connect you to the wind and the sky and the birds and the flowers. And then you could walk around to the left. And you could come into your thread the needle, or not thread the needle, but just a folded twist of any amount. Maybe you stay upright. The work is really in the upright position of really turning the belly around. And then you could come down if you have the room. And then untwist yourself. You can recover. Feel that, the resolution. Downward dog, any way you get there, any other movements that you might need in between. How beautiful yoga teaches us about impermanence like that. There's the stress, there's tension that often rises to a peak, and then there's a resolution, and here we are again. So we're going to take that and we're going to build on it just a little bit. So come back to all fours. It'll start the same way. So you can take your right arm and thread it underneath your left arm. You can kick your left leg out to the side. You might grab it or not. You could walk the left hand over your head on the ground so you could really get into the back of the shoulders. And then up you come, gate pose. So hands interlacing, press it up and arch over. It's all the same here, no surprises. And then as you come up, drop the right hand. So here you could change it if you wanted to. You could stick with the same thing we did last time, or you might pick up that leg and hold the foot behind you, make it like a bow shape on your knee. You're taking the bow. Can you take your tailbone and really press it into your body more? And then we'll do that same ankle to knee, really slow motion. So if you had the bow, let it go. Start to bend your knee, flex your foot, bring the knee towards your belly. Feel the moment, just noticing, okay, now I've got to really externally rotate. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it out, and bring it in front of your right thigh and hook. Ankle to knee, toes are curled, push forward and back a few times. So if this is plenty, you stay with this. If you want more, you could walk your hands back. You're keeping both sets of toes tucked, and you could try to stand on your knees like that. And the trick is, you can see my pelvis. Like here's one hip pointer, and here's the other one, right? Not in line. So I'm gonna, woo, that is hard work. And it's still not perfect, and I'm just gonna be okay with that, we're not going for perfection here. Tailbone down and into the body, pelvis trying to get square-ish, and then you could wrap your left arm under your right arm's on top. Eagle arms, elbows up, wrists away from your face. Keep dropping the tailbone, trying to point it slightly forward, lifting the left side of the pelvis. And then as you release, probably very gratefully, you can come into down dog, ankle to knee. So keeping your left foot hooked. Downward facing dog, shake it out a bit. Stretch that leg up, give it a good wag around or whatever it needs to recover from that. The resolution of the tension. And then left leg under right arm, shoot it through. Sit all the way down, wide legs. Go ahead through the middle this time. Just walk yourself straight forward. So just to whatever degree you're able to today without forcing it. And you could come on up. So we'll play with this shape again. The right leg bending in front, the left leg in back, this pinwheel shape. But I'm going to show you where it might go if you feel so inspired. So again, if you're feeling it, stay with that. If you want to use your hands to try to steer your pelvis into a little bit more neutrality, you could. Left sitting bone down. Maybe this knee is way up. Doesn't matter. So if you want to make it more challenging, you're moving the back leg back as far as you're able to without getting, if you get a little bit out of alignment. What is alignment anyway? Don't worry about it. But we're trying not to go way off course here. Trying to stay the course with the pelvis and the spine. Then what you could do, the next step, is that perhaps you could start to move the feet away from you. It's like everything we've always told you not to do in a split. But here we are. Legs all sorts of strange rolling in, rolling out situation. You're trying to maybe get the left sitting bone down a little more, but it's going to be up off the ground probably. And if that's not hard enough, you can walk around to the right side and add that same twist here. Perhaps even a sort of some kind of version of thread the needle where the left hand could crawl a little bit over to the right under the right arm. Whew. We need this for our tissues. They need stretching, they need compression, they need twisting to be healthy. Right? And so you provide the stress, the correct amount of stress, so that when you bounce back, every tissue and cell that you've stressed is now more resilient. Come on back. Breathe again. Go pull your legs in. Give yourself a moment. What does your body want you to do there? Do you want to, sometimes I feel like I want to hug after that, or maybe a windshield wiper. Your body, trust its natural intelligence and let it guide you for just a moment here. What does it want you to do? And then we could do the last roll through that sequence. So climbing back to your paws and your knees like a wild animal. Here we go. Like a wild tiger in the forest. Left arm under the right arm. Crawl, crawl, crawl. And right leg kicks over towards the hand. Maybe you grab and you crawl the right arm around. And come on up. Clasp hands, press palms up and tip over the long leg. Come back and go the other way. Left hand down. Right arm can stay overhead, or it can pick up your right foot and you can make the bow on your knee. Check here with your throat, that it still has some softness, your jaw, cheeks. If you had the bow, slowly release the right leg back out. Flex the foot, bend the knee towards your belly, and then turn that leg out slow, 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 so that you begin to really understand your own body. And then coming to hands and knees, ankle to knee, or something like that. Shift back and forth. You could shift any which way. You could try a variation of the horse pose, Vattanasana, walking your hands back. I didn't mention this before, I could have. is that if this knee doesn't fit, if it doesn't go to the floor, you could put your pillow underneath there and give yourself a little bit of a kickstand. So for horse pose, you got your ankle to knee position, and you come up and you're trying to figure out that pelvis situation. Is it different on this side? Mine on this side is like, oh no, lady, we're not doing that. Woo, look at the difference. So there's my one hip pointer, and there's the other. Yep, there we go. So left sitting bone down, right side of the pelvis up, right arm on the bottom if you're taking eagle arms. I mean, if it's enough just to manage here, stay without the arms. Otherwise, the arms go up, tailbone goes down. And again, you just find any little amount of grace here, of tenderness in a difficult situation, feeling maybe the stress, the compression of certain parts, the stretching of certain parts, and then the resolution as you release the arms, as you walk yourself out into a down dog, and you can shake that right leg up into the air, give it some relief. Take the right leg under the left arm, come to sit, wide legs. And one more chance to walk out through the center of yourself and just get quiet for a few breaths. So come on up. Let's take that pinwheel leg, left leg in front. It's externally rotated, 90-degree-ish bend. Right leg internally rotates. That's the weird way. And you try to find a seat with sitting bones, feeling the earth. Noticing, any pressure, strangeness, discomfort. Trying to not have too many opinions about things, but just to receive as it is. So if you can lean towards that internally rotated leg a little bit, you could try that. You could try scooting the right leg back. Doesn't have to be a lot to really make major change there. And if you want to, if you did on the other side, or even if you didn't on the other side, you could begin to move the feet away from each other and come into, eventually it could be some sort of a strange split where the front leg is an external rotation, the back leg is an internal rotation. And you're trying to, your right sitting bone's not going to be on the floor in that case, but somewhere closer to it than you might be prone to. And then you could add the twist, walk around to the left. And you could stay, or you could do a little bit of a thread the needle, an ode to thread the needle here. Make it your own for a couple of breaths. And as you come out of it, you ask your body, hey, what do you need? And you give it that gift of recovery. Any amount of washing things away, any pose you want to take, 1 or 2 or 3 poses. So if you would like to choose back bend for yourself now, that could be nice. And so you could take a bridge or a wheel if you wanted to take your support and squish it up underneath your low back. under your sacrum, actually, not your low back. You could do that and just take a really gentle restorative back bend. Otherwise, you could have your feet about hip width and you could lift your pelvis up to bridge. Or you could place your palms by your ears and you could go up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Choose. What is your body's intelligence telling you to do? I was listening to On Being the other day. Krista Tippett interviewed Ocean Vuong, and he was talking about language and how, wasn't that so great? He's amazing. And he was talking about how important our language is, like how we use terms like slay and killing it. And, and he said, what if we didn't use any of that war terminology, right? What if it was all about like blossoming and tenderness? So one more back bend. And the language of your body could be that of kindness, taking any war out of it. You don't need to slay, you don't need to nama slay anything. That's it. And then when you're ready, you come down, take a moment for yourself, let things wash away. Feel the resolution. Tucking your knees in towards your chest. Rock your way up, take your time, or you rock to the side and come on up. As you do, you could take Gomukhasana, the right leg on top. Wiggling a little bit, trying to get, it's that same thing. Can I get the sitting bones down? There it is again, right? We tend to want to lean away from what feels difficult. So lean towards it. Can you lean into that right sitting bone a little bit? If you want to add arms, the left arm will go up and the right arm will come behind you. You could grab your t-shirt if you don't have room to grab your hands at this point. Don't worry about it. And then bring the nobility back into this one. I don't know about you, but sometimes right away this one sort of makes me feel like, right? And so could you find the shimmery quality through the heart, brightness in the spine, elegance about the whole shape, the whole situation. And then you could let the arms go and take it for a forward fold. Maybe for you to sit upright is plenty. Or if there's room, you go forward. You do whatever you do with kindness. I'm still here, but you can stay a little bit more, give you some time in this one. Time, sometimes things take time. Right? It takes time for the bones to move away from each other. Go ahead and start to come on up. Shake that one off. You could unthread the legs and windshield wiper, or if you want a little washing away mini back bend, you could take an upside down tabletop. Close it up with the other side. So left leg on top, Gomukhasana legs. If it's manageable without too much stress, you could take Gomukhasana arms, right arm is up. Steady your gaze, try to To remain, even though there's all kinds of stuff going on here in your body, maybe in your mind, heart, life, to try to be as unruffled as possible, undisturbed. Let the arms go. Either stay where you are and let gravity do the work, or walk your way forward. Add some weight to your legs with a forward fold. Mm. That's good. A couple more breaths. Let things descend. A breath that connects to you, not just with the trees and the air, but also with the stars and planets. Mm. Make your way up and take a last few moments here to do anything your body might call for. Could be anything at all. Anything you need to feel complete, to feel cared for. Hmm. And then you can make a place for yourself to rest, whether it be on your back or on your couch or anywhere at all. Have a pillow, blanket if you want to use it. Settling, receiving. Do a body scan. Notice anywhere that you find resistance, clenching. Or I love Anne Lamott says rashiness. Anywhere you feel rashy. Taking a breath like a spring breeze to that spot. Check in again with your body, your mind. You notice anything clenching or any thoughts. You just say to your body or your mind, thank you for trying to protect me. We're okay right now. Feel the back of your body on the earth. Feel its energy, its vibration. Feel the front of your body facing the space around you. Feel the vibration of the front of you. Let yourself start to expand into that space around you. You can rock the head or move the tiny joints, fingers and toes. You could stretch or hug, curl up on your side. No rush. I'll see you when you come back up. And if you want to stay there, you could stay there all day. You're in your own house. Nobody can make you move. But you might come up to sit and we could share one last Om together. Thank you all so very much. You're unmuted, or you can unmute yourself. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for being here, Cal.
Hi,
Kelly.
Thanks, Kelly.
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 Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So happy to see Andrea. It's so good to see your face.
So I listened to that Ocean Vaughn episode
Wasn't that amazing?
like 2 hours ago. Wait, Kelly. So knowing that you would bring it up at some
I
point,
always talk
I
about her.
realized that you usually weave them in some way because she always chooses wonderful guests. But
Brilliant. If you
he
don't
is
know,
phenomenal. So
we're
what do
talking
I
about On
get?
Being. The On Being podcast is just so brilliant, and she interviews poets and philosophers and scientists, but it's all about the spirituality and love and beauty. And the one this week was particularly incredible. It's about language and all kinds of stuff, but so beautiful. He said this thing. He said, I wrote it down. When he was talking about Noah's Ark, he said, when the apocalypse comes, what will you put in the vessel for the future? How his whole life was shaped by the myth of Noah's Ark. So beautiful. Yeah.